Tonight on DFY Magic Themes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, sideways, upside down, left and right. Hope you're doing well. It's been another interesting week, all happening. First in the room tonight was Eric, followed by Laurie, followed by Colin, Bob, Barry, Stefan, and Sarah. I know others will come in as we get going tonight. Lots to talk about as always. Always good to see you guys. So we get going about 23 seconds time. I don't think Richard's in. It's not Yorkshire tea, I'll tell you that much.
Happy Friday.
God, it's Friday again, yeah. And what a week it's been. It's been an interesting one. Just to say thank you for the lovely messages I've had. My mum's recovering. She's doing well. I reckon the next couple of weeks she'll be back to some normality, if you can call my mum normal. And so it just means that I'll be to cut back down on the hours of going over to see her regularly, and and then be able to focus back on work a bit more. But I've got to say a big thank you to Greg and Robert. While I've been busy looking after my family, an amazing job on the support desk they've done. And when they can't do the some of the tickets, they mark my name on them and say, "Do them when you can." And a thank you to all our DFY members for being very patient, waiting for us to respond to support tickets on the ones that the others can't do. But no, it's been a good week. We've got lots done, and I'm a bit knackered. I don't know about you, Robert.
Very, very much so. It's like burning the candle on both ends and then setting fire to the middle, because it's just a conglomeration of so many things that are always happening at the same time, that when you plan something and you plan a time to do something, especially for Steve and I, if you put into the calculation of how much actual time we can work together, it's a small window every day because of the time differences. Like half of his day's gone before I get up, right? So all of that comes into play with families, my side, his side, and what's going on in the world. It's just I'm amazed in what we get done in some weeks, and then I'm flabbergasted about why we didn't get more done in others. But it's what happens. We spend time doing tickets and support. And we've always said the support that we're going to give is going to be bar none, right? It's going to be the difference of what we do compared to everybody else out there, because it's the roadblocks. It's the things that stop people from moving forward. And we know that. So we spend that extra time. And in all transparency, we'll never be bullied into doing things, but we'll always be the first ones to lend a hand when we can, when it makes sense, right? So there's that difference of things that you do. But we're human. We have families, we have lives, we have our own people to take care of, and they can be demanding, you know. And I learned a long time ago, I won't be micromanaged by clients because they will want to control your entire day. And if you give them a time and they can't show up for what you need or give you what you need, I go to the next one. So that being said, we're going to talk about the good. The good is we see people building and we see people putting in the efforts, right, to make their businesses work. And we never said that DFY Magic Themes was just going to be pop up a website and you're going to be on the push button ATM, right? So what we're doing is getting you ready for the long term. We're getting you guys set up so that your agencies are set, your business plan is in action, your step-by-step program that you're creating for yourselves is your roadmap to success. And if you don't think that people out there need this or need the things that you do, just start talking to a few people. Go to a BNI, go to some other group, go to a not a job fair, but like a home improvement um fair, where the people are selling the things, the newest gadgets, and just go start talking to people, and you'll see how their eyes glaze over when you start talking about websites and what they should be doing. Because SEO is that term that people hear all the time, but they're afraid of it. They don't know what it means. So we have to give them that bite-sized information to show them what they need. And the Google changes are constant. The social media change the platforms are changing constantly. And if you don't keep up, how are they ever going to keep up?
Mm.
It's just going to stall, right? And there's so much to take in and so much to keep up with that the local business owner can't. So you guys have the opportunity. You just have to take the time to be set up properly. And that's why we do what we do in Done For You Magic Themes, and that's why we created the accountability program. So Steve, you had some questions you were going to ask, right?
There's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on. First of all, Facebook, and I've got to confirm how accurate this is. As of tonight, midnight, whatever time, Facebook has said they're removing all apps from groups and pages. What's that mean? That means that if you use a product like Pably Connect or a social media manager, most likely it's going to stop working with Facebook. I've already come up with a solution to the problem, but like anything, I've got to record a bit of training, and I'm aiming to have that solution to the problem for you guys next Friday. That's what I'm aiming to do, or to show you how I get around it. And I think Facebook will eventually retract this idea. So what does that mean for us? Well, we go live in our Facebook groups each week. What's going to change is we're going to be putting a post up to our YouTube channel instead. And you'll go, so anyone who's watching inside of Facebook, you have to go to YouTube instead and watch it from there live. Inner Circle members, you'll only be able to see the Inner Circle part on the Zoom call. All right, because we can't broadcast into the Facebook group anymore. All right. If that happens, we don't know. It might be next week that we start up and we're going into those groups as normal. But Facebook want people to use Facebook more than going into other apps and using it with them. How long will that be for? Well, when people stop using Facebook, because of that, and they'll go to another platform, I think Facebook's going to suddenly go, oh my God, I've got to change things around. So, as for Cloud Key, Steve, there isn't a problem with Cloud Key because it's a browser app. So if you've got a browser extension that works with Facebook, there's not an issue because it's browser based. All right. If you are connecting using something like Pabbly Connect, it may stop working. We don't know yet until tomorrow and next day. But next week, if you watch from one of our Facebook channels, you'll see a post instead saying go to YouTube. And that's what's going to happen if it goes ahead. But we'll have to wait and see. So that's that part. Now, the second part, and this is really important, and Robert doesn't know I'm going to talk about this. Always change your passwords, number one. Number two, use different passwords across all of your accounts. If you can't remember your passwords like me, use something like LastPass or one of those sort of applications that can put the passwords in, because I'm going to share my screen. And this was mentioned on another channel, another Facebook group that I'm in. And I'll just bring this up. So this guy called Robert Temple, I haven't come across him myself, is an internet marketer and also a hypnosis person. He's a comedian. And what he's been doing is he's been hypnotizing people and getting separate bits of information to be able to then hack people's social media and get access. Now, this guy owns some other, I don't know what the products are, but he owns some other products as well that people may have bought. And so this is why I say, don't use the same password across all of your channels. So, for example, use one password for your bank, use a different password for Facebook, a different password for Twitter, a different password for logging into DFY Magic Themes, whatever it may be. You need to be using different passwords across everything now. If you haven't changed your passwords for a long time, go and buy a product like we use LastPass personally. There's some others out there that you can use. And you can use really strong passwords inside of LastPass. Because up on here, you've got the option under here when you create them. If you go to generator, and you can generate a password and go and put that in accordingly into your thing. And then when you log in, it says, do you want to save this? Yes, please. Now, I will say, there's a little bug with LastPass that I've found a workaround. Imagine you've got 5 WordPress sites. If you use the same username across those 5 WordPress sites, sometimes it gets confused, right? In the same way, if you do subdomains, let's say your domain name was 123.com, your front end login on WordPress is username ABC, and then you create your next subdomain, and your username's ABC again. What would do if you have different passwords all the way down, it doesn't remember them all. So if you do subdomains, create a different username for each subdomain. Be the same email address, it's just a username has to be different. And then each time it saves it, when you go back in, you'll know which username's linked to what. All right. But if you haven't changed your bank, I always say, if you're worried about anything, go and change all your financial information first. So so that's your banking. If you've got a mobile phone bill, if you've got credit cards, whatever it may be that you log in on, go and change all those passwords as soon as possible, and use strong passwords using something like LastPass, and protect yourselves. Because this guy here, he's doing now 8 months in prison, and in the UK it'd probably be about 4, but because he owns other products as well, he's built products as well, SaaS softwares. You don't know what he's going to do with that information. So we're just pre-warning everyone that's watching this to make sure that this guy here, if you bought anything from him, you need to make sure that you change your passwords instantly across everything in case he's managed to get them in some way from his software. But the main part behind this was he was hypnotizing people as a comedy act. And it's the old trick of your bank phone. You think it's your bank phone, but it isn't. And they go, can I have the first 2 digits of your passcode? And you go, well, it's 1 and 2. And they say, no, I meant your second 2 digits. And you go, well, it's 3 and 4. Now they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over the phone. What I do with if I get a phone call from my bank or anything financial, I say to them, not a problem. I'm just going to call you back. And if they go, well, we really need to speak to you about your bank, that's why I'm going to call you back. I've got your number here. I'll call you back. But I need to speak to you. That's fine. Well, then if you're ringing me, right, you're calling me on my mobile number. You know who I am. Maybe you can tell me something on my account to confirm that you are who you are. I never give out stuff naturally on the phone. I'll always ring back my main number and say, I'll say, for an example, please put a note on the account. I'll call back. They can put me through to you. Always protect your data. There are people out there that are keen to, if you've got crypto. I know somebody who's got crypto and he had a whole load of crypto stolen out of his account just because he didn't protect himself. So, and in the chat, it's saying I use RoboForm. That's another good one. So, make sure. Paul, you said you spoke to him, that actual guy, did you? Rob Temple. So you've just got to make sure you protect yourself with that. That's the important thing. Was there anything? I think that's all I was going to touch on, really, Rob, at the moment.
We were going to ask how everybody's doing with their builds.
Yeah, that was one of the key things. So I know we've got accountability program members in here, and I know quite a few of you have got your site built. So it'd be nice to know. Put one in the chat if the sites you built are starting to be found on Google. Just be nice to know how you guys are doing, where you guys are at. Barry, Laurie, when is the VIP program starting? Funny enough, we're going to talk about the VIP program on the Inner Circle tonight. And some of you already have access to the VIP program. So, yeah. And Barry says, and Bing also. Do you mind if I bring you up a minute, Barry? Let's add him to Spotlight and ask him to unmute.
Yeah.
So you're on Google. You're on Google and Bing, are you?
On Bing, yeah. I looked today, and I'm on page 1 of Bing, and I'm actually above Wix adverts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Wix website's ranked, to be honest, but that's another story.
Well, I mean, Wix themselves, not a Wix website, Wix themselves.
How long's your agency site been up for, Barry?
It's been up, well, the week when we started, actually, the program. So what's that, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, perhaps?
6, 7, look, that's brilliant. 6, 7 weeks, and you're being found on page 1 of Google already.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2 spots.
How you found the program?
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was easy to do. I mean, there's so much information in there. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And there was information in there that I didn't know or I'd forgotten. So
yeah,
it was really good. I mean, well done, Robert. I mean, it was fantastic, what you did. It was really good. So thanks for that. Really good, really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. But the main thing is to make you realize that there's stuff out there that you forget, and there's stuff out there that you don't know. And we're given 2 ears and 1 mouth because we're supposed to pay attention and listen to learn more, right? So that's what we do. But yeah, kudos when it starts, when you build it right. And this is nothing new for us. It's about the foundation. It's about doing the work ahead of time to get the result that you want to achieve. And like Stephen has said 1,000 times or more, we're in it for the long haul. This is not the get rich quick scheme. This is not the shiny bullet that you just plug it in and tomorrow it's printing money. These things take time to develop. These things take time to massage into place, for them to really be the foundation for your business. And that's why we spend this time on the agency first.
Yeah. Thank you as always, Barry. Really chuffed a bit.
Yeah,
you motor on ahead, which is awesome.
And clients for you, Barry, just for one touch, was you're doing well with clients as well.
Yes, I am. In fact, I've had the biggest client that I've got. I've been in touch with them today, and they just want me to do more and more work for them, which is fantastic, So that's really good. But I'm also bringing in business from the brick and mortar which I sort of built up really with you guys anyway from when I came with those few magic things. So that's going great guns, that one. So that is busy. Really good. Really good.
Oh, brilliant.
As impossible as it seems when you're starting, there's always the light at the end of the tunnel when you finish and you stay the course, right? So at the end,
Yeah.
you're no longer worried about building websites. Now you're worried about taking care of clients. And when you're taking care of clients, that means there's income.
That's
So
right.
that's
Absolutely.
perfect. That's the perfect
Money
scenario.
going into the bank. Can't complain with that one.
People need to hear that. They need to understand that when you put the work in and you put the effort in at the end, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be taking care of clients, and all of this stuff you were doing before is confidence building. You know, we hear that over and over again, but the confidence building, being able to speak the lingo to the clientele, right?
Yeah.
In a manner that they understand it, because now you understand it at a whole new level to tell them what they need to know. So that's perfect. And thank you for sharing that, Barry, because people need to understand this is doable. You can achieve these results, but you have to put the work in and attach yourself to the right people that you can know, like, and trust and understand it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry, as always.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, so and it's great because like Lane's put one in the chat, Stefan, Laurie. So it's you just got to follow the program and get to that point where we want everyone to be. We want everyone to be at the same place where they've got their agency site built. The directory build training is in the members area and in the inner circle. We'll talk to some of you have already got access. I know that Lane, Laurie, Barry, I'm trying to remember who else is in the list, who's in the room tonight. Already in your members area, when you're in there, you'll see the accountability program, and directly underneath it's a VIP one. So we've done the directory build, and we got some more training to add in there on WordFence as soon as possible. Yes, Eric, absolutely. We'll respond to your ticket about giving you access, not a problem. And so it's taken a bit longer than we wanted originally. Before my mum became ill, I used to come out of the morning, get the support tickets done with Robert. We'd do some recording of the day, and then any other business. And for the last few weeks, every morning I get up, I see the kids off to school, and then I go to Chard for the morning. So it's been taking out my day about 4 or 5 hours each day, and then I come and work. And I'm glad my mum's getting better now, because it means that instead of me doing 6 in the morning till 2 in the morning, very long days, it's going to be wound back to what it was before, which would be more manageable for me. So, but we push through the directory build, and that's inside the members area, and we'll make sure you're looked after. So don't worry. All right.
So just to recap on, there's so many things going on in the world, right? And if you're not in tune with this, you've been under a rock, because everything has gone up. If it hasn't doubled, some things have quadrupled since COVID. The supply and demand change have been so messed up over the last few years. The cost of everything has skyrocketed. The requirements for insurance in the States here is just insanity of what they're making people do. And just to touch on the one thing that it just gets me, right, is the homeowner's insurance that people have to carry for their home, because they have a mortgage. They have to have homeowner's insurance. There's a homeowner insurance will cover the cost of the home if something was to happen, so that the mortgage company doesn't lose their money, right? So we're required to carry this homeowner's insurance for the mortgage, right? And in reality, the homeowners companies are turning back around and making everybody do the hoops and jumps, right? And this is the one that gets me. the roofing, right? You buy a roof that has a 20 to 30 year warranty, and that's what you pay for to put on your home, right? And then the homeowners insurances are I don't know where they got the authority to do it, but they won't renew policies here in Florida on roofs that are older than 10 years, even though it's a 20 and 30-year-old roof. Well, why did I pay for a 30-year guaranteed roof that I have to have replaced in 10 years? It's just insanity. And all it is about the insurance companies having to pay claims because storms came through and ripped off the shingles of roofs, right? And I don't care if they were 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, that same storm hitting that same house, whether it was a brand new roof or an older roof, would have done the same damage, most likely. But anyways, they're always lobbying for people to have to replace their roof. And I'm getting into this because my neighbor just went through it, right? They had the same age roof as me, but they couldn't get homeowners insurance. They wouldn't renew their policy unless they put on a new roof. And they put on a new roof just so they could get the insurance. It just it boggles my mind. So they end up spending 20 something, 22, $24,000 on a roof that they had to take out of their retirement to have homeowners insurance. And it's just unfair. So the roofing in the insurance industry alone, that's just one thing, right? Then you get into healthcare, and then you get into all the other stuff. So that the average working person anymore can't afford to live. And everything is being passed on to the next person, whether it's food, whether it's gas, whether it's mechanical, whether it's, whatever you're buying, using, or buying online, the costs are going up. I was just looking at an article real quick before we went live about Amazon is no longer going to have free returns. They're going to start charging for returns. Right? So you order something from Amazon and you're not returning it for free anymore. They're going to have to start paying freight back or some other charge. Why are they doing that? Same thing as Google. Why are they bringing in the Google Business Partners specialized guaranteed placements? Because they want more money, right? So it's all about money at the end of the day, but the services that everybody has to get, the costs are astronomical. My wife and I complain about and argue, not argue, but debate about different things. 10 years ago in our home, if we had a $300 a month electric bill in the summer in Florida, it was like, we were just angry to get that kind of a bill. Meanwhile, other neighbors in the same location as us, with sometimes bigger homes, but most of them were single-story homes, were paying already 400 to almost 500 in electric. So we were cheaper than the average. Now, the electric bills for us are averaging 4 to 450. What changed? Well, the electrical companies raised their rates. The housing didn't change that much. We put in new windows, we put in a new air conditioner, we've upgraded things, but the electric is still high. So all of these services, fuel is based on, or gas prices in the United States are based on speculation. There is no such thing as supply and demand. It's all speculation. And that forms in New York and Wall Street. And prices can go up and down. They'll start talking about shortages or talking about this or talking about, because they want the prices to go up for the summertime when people are traveling, when they're using the most fuel. It's all this yin and yang type thing to get everybody panicked. And we should panic because everything's going up around us, whether we've noticed it or not. Prices in the grocery store, the food stores, the fast food places, right? All the prices are going up. And in a blink of an eye, you're paying more than you ever thought was normal. Right? In most families, I think their shopping budget just for food alone has doubled. And they're cutting back and eating less or eating cheaper food because of all these price increases. So the good, I guess we're probably heading to the inner circle or shortly there, Mr. Steve.
We will be.
The good is we're building sites like mad, right? And we see how many sites are being built. So hats off to all you guys with Done For You Magic Themes. The client sites are going up, your sites are going up, and we see the growth. So those that are working at it, like Barry, like Lori, so on, those are the ones that are going to prosper because they see what's happening and they're getting it done. They're building the foundation, and that's what it's going to take.
Do you know something else, Robert? Right, where prices are going up, there's an opportunity here for anyone who does rank and rent or building websites, right? And that is, you look at what your competitors are charging in your local area, right? And I always say, use a Google fake email address, get a burner phone, and phone around a few places, get some prices, write them down from 2 or 3 competitors, and guess what? Undercut them, do a better deal. Because if you're doing a better deal than the next person along, right? Someone who goes, well, you know what? I work for myself. I'm self-employed business plumber, and I can't afford to pay Google. I can't afford to pay advertising. But guess what? Laurie, Barry, or Bob has come along to me and gave me a great deal I can afford. And I've worked out that if I pay $250 a month, and I win 2 jobs, I've covered my money. If I get 4 jobs, I've doubled my money. And that's sort of the angle you got to go with. You got to work out what can someone afford. And I did this test on a local group I'm with. I was down there. I said, anyone a business owner? And someone said, yes, I am. I just said, what's your most expensive cost? And he said, advertising. Or, he said, word of mouth is great, doesn't cost me anything, but people don't always recommend you. And his exact words were advertising. And I said, if I could save you some money, would you be interested? He went, yeah. And so we're going to be having a meeting in the next couple of weeks to talk about that. And that can lead into a rank and rent website, generating more leads for him and so on. So, it's really good. And Bob says the internet is the new word of mouth advertising. And it can be, there are lots of different options out there. But what we are going to do is talk about some of these things in the inner circle. If you're not part of the inner circle, go to dfymagicthemes.com/live for you. In the meantime, we're going to switch over and see all the freebie groups next week.